Okay, welcome back. It's day 3 and we need to do some discard. We have too much starter in our jar, but have a look at it. It's got some nice little bubbles going on. There's bubbles going on down the side. Now, when I filmed this, it was the middle of the summer and it was really, really, really hot in my house. So these results may not be what you get. If that's why it's from 7 to 14 days. Okay, if your house is cooler, whatever, you may not see these bubbles until the second week. Don't worry about it. Okay, so now we're going to discard. I save my old Ziploc bags from, things that have been packed in the freezer, etc. And I use it for my discard. You do not want any of this going down your drain. It will plug up your plumbing pipes like you just have never seen before. Gets into the pipes, it's like cement. Okay, so we want to figure out how much discard we want to get rid of. I'm going to use my kitchen scale. And we have 596 total volume, including the jar. Okay, so grab your calculator. Remember, the jar weighs 402 grams. So we're going to subtract that. We have 194 grams of discard. We want to get down to around 50 or 60 before we do our daily feeding. Okay, and you'll notice that I have my Ziploc bag inside one of my measuring cups. It holds it open for me and makes this job really, really easy. Otherwise, it gets kind of messy. So grab a tool and you're going to pull out probably most of the discard. 2/3, 3/4, somewhere in there. Okay, pop your jar back up on your scale and retar it. Okay, get it to 0, then put your jar on. Now we weigh 466 grams minus the 402 for what the jar weighs. Okay, and that's going to give us 64, which is close enough. Okay, you don't need to be exact. So I'm going to get rid of the discard, and now we're going to feed this. I'm going to use the same jar, and unless your jar gets really, really dirty, just leave it in the same jar. Or if you're freaky about glass jars, change it over to a new one. I'm kind of on the freaky side. I like clean jars. Okay, so we're going to add 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of warm water. Again, I tarred out, so I'm using my kitchen weigh scale. 61 is what I got here, close enough. Tarring it out again. Again, I'm going to add warm water. I'm going to use my handy dandy, I love this tool, thermometer to check. Make sure that it's not too hot. If it's too hot, it will actually kill your yeast. So anywhere from 81, 82 to about 94 is good. You can also use your finger to test. If it just feels nice and warm, it's good. If it feels hot, maybe add a little bit more cold water. Okay, so I'm adding 60. I ended up with 68. That's okay. And I'm going to turn off my kitchen scale and we're going to stir this again. Now, the thing about stirring, you'll see that I'm using the end of a wooden spoon. This stuff is super sticky and it's really, really hard to clean your utensils. So anything that is long and skinny is a lot easier to clean than something that's round with a whole bunch of different things in it. And again, you don't want any of this going down your drain. So the easier it is to wipe off on a paper towel, the easier your life is going to be in the sourdough world. And again, notice I have paper towel that I'm putting everything on, and then I'm using my silicone spatula to clean the sides of my jars. This stuff also comes off of the silicone spatula quite easily, so again, really easy to wipe down. Okay, so this has been fed. So now we're going to put a lid on it and we're going to leave it for 24 hours. I put the glass lid on here. At home, I use paper towel and a rubber band on a regular, but you can use the lid. Just offset it a little bit so it's not completely sealed. Okay. I'm going to talk about the opening of this jar compared to a larger mason jar. And you see that the opening is a little bit bigger. When you're trying to get flour into the jars, pick as large of an opening as you can get. And that's why I really like these Ruck jars. It is nice and wide and it's easy to get into. Okay, what to do with the discard? The discard is unhealthy to eat until it is like 14 days to a month old. So this is garbage. That's why it's in a Ziploc bag. Okay, you're going to put your paper towel in there that you cleaned your tools with, and you're going to dispose of it. If you're cleaning jars, you can actually put water inside the jar, shake it up, and throw it in your garden. It has very good benefits for your plants out there. Okay. And that's it. That's how you feed and discard. And you're going to do that for the next 11 days.